Hashtag it was 4-1. Blackhawks fans, you're not going to be happy with me. I have a bet going on every playoffs with my wife. We pick teams at the beginning of the playoffs. And when the Blackhawks scored to make it 4-1, Marian Hossa, empty netter, I wrote down the Blackhawks in the next round. That's why Minnesota gave you a heart attack and scored those 2 late goals and almost sent it to Game 5. Luckily for you, though, you are a fan of the Chicago Blackhawks and not the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are affected by voodoo. Evil, evil voodoo. So let's start with a eulogy. Oh, Minnesota Wild. Oh, it's not fair. You faced the Chicago Blackhawks 3 years ago. You go into the playoffs with Josh Harding and Darcy Kemper. They have a combined 6 starts heading in. You lose. Last year, you get really good at shot suppression. You managed to hold the Blackhawks to within 20, sometimes less than 20 shots per game, and you go in with Ilya Bryzgalov. Now, what if I told you at the beginning of the season you would have to do it again with Devan Dubnyk? Well, what if I told you you were going into it with Vezina nominee Devan Dubnyk? You'd probably call me a silly goose. Well, honk honk, he's nominated for the Vezina. And even he was not good enough to beat the Chicago, oh my God, Blackhawks. Like, people talk about how the St. Louis Blues, oh, every year they gotta play the LA Kings, they gotta play the Chicago Blackhawks. No. You beat them. It's you who have to face the Blackhawks every year. For all I know, the Minnesota Wild could have been the second best team in hockey for 3 straight years. But those damn Blackhawks. You know what? If I was a Minnesota Wild fan, I'd be optimistic. Next year, hopefully, you get a full season of Devan Dubnyk if he decides to re-sign. Asterisk, hopefully he's the same Devan Dubnyk. Sorry guys, I like this chair. I'm liking what I'm seeing from young guys like Haula, Dumba, holla. And there's been some people chirping the Ryan Suter contract and oh my God, he's getting paid way too much. Zach Parise, every dollar. That guy is money, and Mikko Koivu continues to be a very underrated player, in my humble opinion. So sometimes you get knocked out, you get all sad, you go, look at all these terrible things we did wrong. And to me, you know what you did wrong, Minnesota Wild? You played the Chicago Blackhawks. What did I say in the video where Chicago knocked out Nashville? They like to eat dreams and wash it down with your tears. That's what the 4-2 and 4-3 goal were in Game 4. Maybe we can do it, guys. Yeah, maybe you can't. This can be your Stanley Cup. Put that down before I ruin something. Chicago, I really don't even know what's left to say. Some people were getting upset about how short the Chicago-Nashville video was. What is left to say about the Chicago freaking Blackhawks? We talk about Ovechkin, we talk about Crosby, we talk about Malkin. Those guys seem to be in the top tier elite of the league. And then we have this neat little other tier for guys like Anze Kopitar and Jonathan Toews and Patrice Bergeron and the best two-way players in the league. The first one with Crosby and Ovechkin and Malkin and all them in it, Patrick Kane is in there. Guys, about a point per game in the playoffs over 100 games. That's not a fluke, that's being a boss. And after all, what are the Stanley Cup playoffs? Showtime. So basically the Blackhawks are amazing. Their goaltending seems to be doing fine, and I said that would be a huge question mark. Here's what you need to be worried about though. Michael Rozsival is injured with that horrible, why? That's not supposed, why? And that would have been a big problem heading into the Wild series, heading into the Nashville series, heading into any series. Michael Rozsival was an important part of the Blackhawks blue line. All I know is that after that injury, every single Chicago Blackhawks fan should temporarily become a Calgary Flames fan. You want the Calgary Flames to beat the Anaheim Ducks, or if they can't quite do it, you want them to beat the hell out of them. The Flames are currently in a position that the Hawks are going to have to be in. The Hawks are just riding a few guys, and luckily they got guys like Duncan Keith, Brent Seabrook. They can do that too. And the Flames have been doing it without Mark Giordano, mind you. The Ducks, no, not so much. At the time I am shooting this video, through 3 games, the least amount of ice time one Anaheim Ducks defender has got is Clayton Stoner at just under 17 minutes. In Game 1 of the Anaheim-Calgary series, Anaheim's top ice time getting defender was less than 5 minutes above their least ice time getting defender. I'm not gonna reshoot that. I know it was grammatically incorrect, but there's my point. And in Game 2, it was about 3 minutes. That's part of the reason they've been able to dominate. It's not just that they knew the Jets were hurt and they punished the Jets for it. It's not just that they're capitalizing on the lack of experience that the Calgary Flames have. The Ducks have a ridiculously balanced attack on the back end. Boschman, Vatanen, Lindholm, Dupre was a heist. Stoner, I don't even remember all of them. Oh, Fowler, the guy with the Duck nickname in his name. How did I forget? And the Ducks lead all playoff teams in defensive scoring, which is kind of amazing because they've only played 8 games so far. So that's what they need to watch out for. So I will ask this, who on the Chicago Blackhawks blue line can step it up. And who would you rather face in the next round, Calgary or Anaheim? Or is that a dumb question? And Minnesota, what do you got to do next season if you want to make it to the third round, aka what do you do if you end up playing the Blackhawks again? That's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends, and I'm gonna work on my word talking.